We're going to be talking a little bit about mulching trees. And mulch is probably the closest thing we have to a silver bullet in urban forestry. If you consider the natural setting of trees, the forest, there is a natural process of leaves falling during the fall of the year and the accumulation of debris, which creates a duff layer in the woods, which is a thick organic layer which slowly decomposes over time. And in the urban forest, we oftentimes do not have this duff layer and instead have lots of grass and weeds that compete with our trees. This is especially important when we're trying to establish young trees in the urban landscape. And so mulch basically does a few things for us. First, it puts down a lot of the organic material down into our soil. It creates that duff layer that helps with microorganisms, puts down a lot of our essential nutrients into the soil. It also has several other benefits for us. One of which is it can help regulate the soil temperature. If we have extremely cold temperatures, it can help insulate, keep our soils from freezing quite as much. And during hot, droughty conditions, it can help keep soils from getting overly warm and have a limited effect on how much moisture escapes from the soil. As weed control, it is extremely important. In the urban forest, we have lots of grasses, lots of weeds, which when we have young trees can really limit the growth of these trees. These roots are competing with these grasses, with these weeds for water, for nutrients, and it'll slow that growth for these trees down. By using mulch, we can a lot of times eliminate those grasses and instead replace them with a nice thick organic layer that'll help the trees grow faster and become established much quicker. When we're applying mulch on landscape trees, there's a few key items that you need to keep in mind. The first one is depth. You do not want your mulch to be more than 2 inches thick. The primary reason for this is when we get rain events, you want that rain to be able to infiltrate through that mulch and actually get down to your root zone. The other item you want to remember is you do not want to pile mulch up against the side of the tree. A lot of times there's a tendency to have what we call volcano mulching, which is mulching that piles up against the base of the tree. And this does a few things. This is going to limit, when we have rain, how much of that water will actually get down to the root zone. And it will also promote advantageous root growth, or roots that begin to grow up into the mulch and a lot of times start growing around the base of the tree, which can lead to girdling roots. Additionally, we want to have the mulch applied usually about 3 to 5 feet diameter and usually till about the drip line of the tree. In many cases, we see mulch applied just a foot around the tree, and we have found that that has little to no effect to help the tree out. Instead, we want to create this nice organic layer, this nice duff layer within the drip line of the tree to help the tree become established and help the tree not have to compete with a lot of the grasses and weeds that we find in the urban forest.